There is no rest for the West as an atmospheric river continues to dump buckets of water on the Golden State. Video has been pouring into the broadcast center, giving us a live look at the devastation. Cars submerged in Santa Barbara, trees uprooted in Sacramento. California Governor Gavin Newsom says at least 17 people have been killed as of Tuesday evening. CBS's Carter Evans joins me for more from Santa Cruz County.
Good evening, John. The water here in this neighborhood is finally starting to recede, only a couple of inches deep at this point. But to give you some context, with the amount of rainfall we've received and what's in the forecast, well, it's enough to cover the entire state of California with 15 inches of water. The procession of storms is relentless and unforgiving, flooding homes and roads with each new torrential downpour. In Los Angeles, a massive cleanup is underway. Overnight, up to 8 inches of rain triggered landslides, leaving behind a pile of mud in valley neighborhoods.
We're asking residents of Los Angeles and all of California to stay off the roadways as much as possible.
A large sinkhole created by the rainfall swallowed 2 cars. A mother and daughter had to be rescued. Even train commuters had to navigate floodwaters inside Union Station. In Northern California, this is what a stretch of the busy 101 freeway near San Francisco looked like. Meanwhile, a rising Sacramento River heightened concerns as crews patrol levees around the clock looking for any signs of trouble. The record weather is also wreaking havoc on the Central Coast. CBS's Elise Preston is near Montecito tonight, where evacuation orders have been lifted.
The heavy rains have eased for now, but the hillsides are so saturated, this is the result. One of several rock slides and mudslides, along with flooding, that forced many here in Santa Barbara to stay in shelters. The hills above Santa Barbara recorded 12 to 15 inches of rain, prompting evacuations and rescues overnight. It will take some time to clean up messes like this one.
Some forecasters are predicting as much as 22 trillion gallons of water will fall on drought-stricken California when these storms are finally over. That's more than enough water to fill 2 major reservoirs, Lake Powell and Lake Mead. Can't we just save a fraction of that?
That is the hope, but it's a lot more complicated, unfortunately.
Most of the water isn't captured. It's lost to runoff that goes into the ocean.
The challenge there is getting the water from outfalls like this one or rivers and into the groundwater, and we just don't quite have the infrastructure for that.
And with all the sewage, bacteria, and debris in the storm runoff, the water would also have to be treated before it could be used. And in this case, it is just too much, too fast. John?
So, Carter, is there any idea of when this might end, these atmospheric rivers?
Well, you know, it's interesting. We started out last year, for example, with a really strong season in December, and they thought it was going to be a big one, and then all of a sudden it just dried up. Right now, we've still got more rain in the forecast, but if these storms were to stop, well, we're still in a severe drought here in California.
And as you mentioned, the reservoirs are looking good, but that's not a help for the kind of drought that California has experienced. Also, because of that drought, people there aren't that experienced with this kind of flood conditions. How are they coping with something that's so foreign to them?
It really is. Rain is foreign to us here lately in California. I mean, you can make outdoor plans generally whenever you want, not this winter. When I think back to around Thanksgiving time, middle of November, when all this started, it seems like we've had 1 or 2 of these storms every single week for the last couple of months, and there's no end in sight.
We'll be talking to you again about it, Carter. We appreciate it. Thanks so much. Carter Evans for us.
Sure.